We are all in the business of attracting our ideal customers and then leading them towards their desired goals or their desired results. It doesn't matter in what type of business you are, there is an ideal client for you and there's a service or a product that you offer. Our jobs is to bring the two together and use that product or that service to get the ideal client his desired results. The number one problem for most entrepreneurs is finding enough ideal clients. Now, right off the bat here, I want to tell you to stop searching for your ideal clients, but to start speaking to them. You speak to your ideal client through your marketing. And if you utilize social media for this, which you should, by the way, then all of the heavy lifting is done for you in any case. The more you talk about a specific service or product, the more the algorithm will show it to people that have an interest for that specific product or service. Now, obviously, we as entrepreneurs need to get creative with this. You don't have to be the face on camera to do this on social media. You can one-up this by using targeted ads, by using other people, get other people to share testimonies or do a review on your product or your service or speak about it or use funny analogies or even just a product breakdown or a service breakdown. And then you run ads to your ideal client. Now you got to identify who is your ideal client, right? For example, my ideal client is most probably South African, likes rugby, likes camping, 4x4s, UFC, and DDP. That's Dricus du Plessis, by the way. Those people are my type of people. They're my type of clients, right? Most probably they'll gel with me. They can usually see the world through the same lens as us. I can hire somebody to create 5 or 6 scripted ads, run the shit out of those ads for 4 or 5 months, and that way direct traffic to my website. Now there's a recipe to this, and obviously you got to play around until you hit the sweet spot. The content has to speak to the client. The client has to be curious enough to head on over to the website. The website has to capture the client's details. You then contact the client and lead the client to his desired results. There's various systems and processes required here, but the bottom line stays, speak to your ideal client instead of searching for your ideal client. You speak to your ideal client through your marketing. And if that first piece of the puzzle isn't in place, then the rest of the systems or the processes following become worthless. Now this is just a 2-minute breakdown of what I and a lot of other entrepreneurs, digital entrepreneurs do. It's a brief summary of one piece of the puzzle within various puzzles required to achieve success. If we want to replicate what the likes of Russell Brunson, Tony Robbins, Gary Vaynerchuk and other successful digital entrepreneurs have done, then we need to start with ourselves. We need to study and become experts in our respective fields. And I'm going to say this again, something I say a lot of times, if your business isn't digital yet, then your business is slowly dying. It doesn't matter whether you're hiring out tools or whatever business you are in. There is a way, a format, a recipe in which you can go digital. You don't have to move the entire business digital, but the aspects and the areas of your business, especially your marketing, that can go digital, you should go digital with that, because otherwise your business isn't going to be around for very long. Trust me when I tell you this. Give it another 10 years. If you ain't digital, you ain't going to make it. So how do you become an expert? There's 5 phases to becoming an expert. Phase 1, experiment with a ton of stuff. Phase 2, identify things that spark your interest. Phase 3, engage deeply with those things. Phase 4, as you engage, if it goes from interest to true fascination, go down the rabbit hole of mastery. And phase 5 just affirms the recipe. Fascination plus mastery equals passion or you being an expert. We don't go down this path of learning because the world has conditioned us for some reason that after matric or varsity, you are done learning now. You figured something out, you got a certificate or a degree, now you're done. Russell Brunson says this is the most dangerous state to be in because effectively you become unteachable. And if nobody can teach you of better or more, then you remain as you are, stagnant. He talks of a teachability index. In school or varsity, our teachability index was high, And for most people after school or varsity, it drops drastically. Without a high teachability index, you won't be able to construct new and better ideas. You won't be able to adapt or change your framework around concepts in business, relationships, your finances, life in general. You effectively stop growing and expanding your consciousness. Russell also talks about the different phases of growth that we can experience. First, we learn, we listen to audiobooks, we attend seminars, we go down this rabbit hole of consuming knowledge. Then he talks about the reporter stage or phase where you put on your reporter hat. You interview experts, you get closer to them, you join a network or a club, but then at some point we need to shift from consumption to contribution, which is phase 3. At some point you need to take action on what you've learned and apply it through helping others. Helping others with your knowledge allows you to apply it in multiple industries, in multiple scenarios. This is the pinnacle of learning or personal growth, and on top of that you get to help others achieve their goals. This is how you get super wise and how you become an expert. Russell Brunson says contribution is the key to continuous growth. I contribute by dissecting and teaching, which leads to the expansion of my mind and the minds of others. Russell talks about creating and learning about different frameworks. Now, I believe a successful business is a compilation of various frameworks within frameworks, but with the right recipe. I have built and I continue to build and develop frameworks within my businesses. You find and develop and tweak your own frameworks by studying the successful frameworks of other entrepreneurs or other businesses. Now, a couple of years ago, I had to make a choice. I needed a framework and I wanted to build a different type of business and a different type of life. So in order to get my ideal life that I want and do the things that I'm passionate about, I needed to go and create something new because I didn't really find a spot where I can fit. So I had to create something new. And where do you start with that? You start by writing down what is your goal. Simple as that. Write down what you want. Sometimes you also got to be clear on what you don't want. So for example, I quickly realized that the framework for my business would be worthless if I can't infuse my passion with it. At the time I didn't realize it, but I actually wrote out the framework for my life and what I wanted to do in business, in my first business. And you can't get the mainframe right if you don't know exactly what you want and what you don't want. First massive breakthrough that I made in my life was when I found my passion. I found my passion in a series of questions in a book called Be Obsessed or Be Average by Grant Cardone. 4 years ago, I said, great, I need to make money with something, I need to be skilled at something, and I need to be passionate about that thing. What do I have to work with? Okay, great, I'm skilled in finance, however, I hated being the average financial advisor. So I've got the skill, but I don't like it. I love inspiring and motivating and teaching people, but I don't make money with it. So I said, great, let me infuse the two with each other. Use what I'm skilled at, but infuse it with my passion. This allowed me to get clear on what I don't want, right? If you look at the average financial firm, they teach you a set of rules on a set of specific products. Most advisors know the same stuff and give the same old average advice, with exception on some of the old dogs, which are very few. Here and there you get proper financial planners, I know some, but I don't want to be like everybody else. They all get clients through either cold calls or referrals. Now if you've done some cold calls in your life, you'll know that that sucks tennis balls. All of them go back and forth with 2 or 3 meetings on a client, and they write them a policy or a product, and then they earn commission. Of course the guy's going to sell you a policy because it's the only way he makes a living. It's the only way he gets money. Everybody in that industry does what they're told. They stick to the products that they've been taught, and that's it. They don't go and explore and find new things or try to create new unique solutions. All of this I hate it. So I had to say, great, okay, what is it that I want? I want to be an expert and I want to offer solutions which the industry doesn't. I want to be unique. I want to teach and I want to inspire people. I want to motivate them. I want to charge an upfront fee instead of earning a commission. And I want to charge that fee for unique advice packaged in a unique service instead of being desperate for commission and getting clawbacks every second month. I want clients to come to me instead of cold calling and trying to sell average products over the phone. I want to specialize in investments that generate double-digit returns, none of that 8 or 9% stuff. I want to work with entrepreneurs, specifically entrepreneurs that resonate with me, and I want to elevate them and their businesses. I want to make a ton of money on my terms through helping entrepreneurs with expert advice, solving real-world problems spiritually, emotionally, financially, and mentally. And this, ladies and gentlemen, became my dream for 4am. First, we started as a 4am club. Then we got 4am asset management. Then, in the next couple of months, we'll have 4am performance. Not long after that, we'll have 4am insurance, 4am accounting. And one of the big reasons why I'm branching out into different industries, but that are still a bit similar to the industry that I'm currently in, is because I want to own more of the infrastructure. At first, I just had the 4am club. Then I referred clients to other financial firms. Right? I need to own the infrastructure, refer them to my own firm, build my own products. All those clients have a need for expert accounting advice, refer them to my accounting practice. All of those clients have a need for insurance, refer them to my own insurance company. The more of the infrastructure I can own, the more money I can make in my empire, and the bigger the impact I can make on the world, my community, my country, and obviously my clients. So the first thing I did is I stopped being a little crybaby, right, and worrying about judgment from other people, and I started speaking the truth on social media. I started being a loudmouth, and I added value to people's lives. And I continue to do so till this day, and I will continue to do so until the day I climb the big cage. So this is how my main framework looks like on the 4am club. First step, you build a following, you resonate with your ideal client, and you add value. I do this through social media. Then I guide them to my website. On the website, my job is to get them curious and to spark some interest. I capture their details and the interest that they have. After that, we contact the client, we get information on how we can help and how we can add value. We don't try and pitch the guy or sell the guy. We merely get information. Tell me about yourself. What do you do? How do you do it? How much money are you making? What do you want out of life? What do you want out of your business, out of your investments, etc., etc. If we can find the need, the pain point, and we have a product or a service that can address that pain point, boom. Then you don't sell the guy, you let him buy. Which leads me to the next step. We match the need that the client has, his need or his desire, with a product or a service. And then the final step, which is a continuous one, is we lead our clients to results. At the time of building this out, I didn't know this is what I'm actually doing. Kind of just happened spontaneously. Looks like definitely a couple of things in Russell Brunson's book stuck with me, and it allowed me to build certain things in my business. Now this is just an overview of the club's main framework, but obviously there is technical and detailed frameworks within frameworks. It can get a lot deeper than this. But once you have a working recipe like this, and all of the individual frameworks that slot in with each other, then you've got a ton of value. I'm telling you now, I could probably blueprint this and sell it to advisors with a 6-figure price tag. Not to even mention the software and the infrastructure that allows this machine to operate. Now I know some of the daft finance guys out there who's going to say that nobody's going to buy it. If I showed you the revenue and the figures that my machines generate, my frameworks, then I promise you, you will beg me to buy it. Now please don't freak out. I'm not going to try and sell you guys a blueprint. Everything I do within the club, I am incentivized to get you results. I want you to do better than me. I want you to make a shit ton of money, because if you make a lot of money, and that has partly been because you are in my club and because I show up for you and that I've add value to your life, then that is a massive ROI for me. So don't worry, I'm not going to sell you guys any blueprints. What's important to note when it comes to building frameworks in your business is that you got to be the guinea pig. Every product or service that my companies sell has been crafted, molded, developed for me. If I want or desire a specific solution tailored in a specific way, then chances are there's hundreds of thousands of people out there that want the same type of solution tailored in the same specific way. Most of the solutions or services or products that we offer the public or clients is products or solutions or services that I wanted, that I had a desire or a need for. Now, if I can create value for myself, I can package it and offer it to others. If you can create value for yourself, you can package it and offer it to others. I've spoken to various entrepreneurs. Actually, over the weekend, I spoke to an entrepreneur in Cape Town. And in an hour and a half conversation, I literally counted 5 of the various businesses that he created. Massive businesses. Got born out of a need or a desire that he had. He wanted a solution, so he made something. Other people saw it. They're like, shit, can I get 150 of those units in Miami? Top entrepreneurs will tell you, seasoned entrepreneurs will tell you that once you can create a solution, a tailored solution for yourself, I promise you it's something you can package and sell or offer to others as well. Obviously, you got to mess around with these frameworks at first. Yes, the first ones will suck. Yes, you will suck in the beginning. You will eventually get better, and so will your ideas, your understanding, the concepts that you come up with, and the frameworks that you come up with. I get tons of ideas and valuable insights on potential frameworks or on developing frameworks within my business through books, through reading and taking notes, through sharing ideas and teaching things that I've discovered here on Tuesday mornings, through networking with other entrepreneurs. You know how many great ideas I get by having a coffee or a drink with another entrepreneur, or dinner or lunch. If you want to get the creative juices flowing, really flowing, start booking sessions in your network. Start going out to lunch or dinner with people in your network. And when you go out to have dinner or lunch with somebody like that, or drinks or whatever, go with the sole purpose and the sole intention of adding value. Don't go and tell the guy about what you sell. Go and get information on the guy. See if there is a problem or something that he has that you can add value to, or a problem that you can solve for him. Perhaps you can give him a contact or put him in contact with the right person or the right company. I promise you, your net worth is going to shoot the lights out if you network with people with the sole purpose of adding value, going out and serving others. Obviously, you've got to be wise with who you spend your time. Don't go and serve people that will just take and take and take and take from you. You have a golden opportunity right here within the club to network with like-minded, wealthy and highly influential other entrepreneurs. Pick up the phone, start calling, book some dinners and some lunches. Be blessed.